My wife called my masculinity toxic music at family dinner, so I became the evolved man she wanted. 3 weeks later, she was begging for the old me back. We were at my in-laws' Thanksgiving table when my wife Renee looked at her sister and said, "I just wish he'd evolve. The whole protector-provider thing is so outdated." Her entire family nodded like she quoted scripture. Her mom added, "Men who insist on being masculine are just insecure." I sat there holding my fork, watching my father-in-law nod along, even though I'd spent 3 weekends rebuilding his deck for free. I didn't say anything, just kept eating music, but something clicked that night. If toxic masculinity was the problem, I'd remove it entirely. Monday, I stopped going to the gym. Renee had complained for years that my dedication to fitness was performative masculinity, so I canceled my membership. $55 a month saved. She didn't notice for 4 days. Tuesday, I stopped fixing things around the house. The kitchen faucet had been dripping, and I planned to replace it that weekend. Instead, I called a plumber. $340. When Renee asked why I didn't just fix it myself, I said, "I don't want to perform traditional gender roles anymore." "You're right, it's music toxic." She laughed nervously. "I didn't mean you couldn't fix a faucet, but that's the protector-provider thing you mentioned." I'm evolving. Wednesday, her car made a grinding noise. Normally, I'd pop the hood immediately. Instead, I shrugged and suggested she call a mechanic. She stared at me. "You're not going to look at it." I'm deconstructing my need to rest. The mechanic charged her $600 for brake pads I could have done for 80. By week 2, things escalated. A spider appeared in the bathroom and Renee screamed from the fix Vivian's Wi-Fi router next time I visited. That night, my dad sent a thumbs up emoji in the family group chat. No call, no dinner, no card, just a yellow thumb on a screen. I stared at it for 20 minutes, then put my phone in a drawer and never responded. I stopped calling, stopped visiting, stopped showing up to the Sunday dinners where I'd sit invisible while they celebrated every detail of Vivian's life like she was saving the world instead of running social media for a mid-sized firm. Nobody noticed for 3 months. Vivian texted asking where I'd been and I said work was busy. She sent a frowny face and never followed up. She'd never had to fight for anyone's attention, so she didn't recognize when someone stopped fighting for it. I poured everything into my career because it was the only place effort actually produced results. Within 2 years, I'd been promoted twice more. I built a cybersecurity system that saved my company $11 million during a data breach, and they rewarded me with stock options that made my hands shake reading the paperwork. I bought a house in cash, no mortgage, no debt. I still drove my old Honda because nobody ever handed me anything with a bow on it, so I learned to earn what I wanted and appreciate what I chose for myself. Last Saturday, I walked into a luxury dealership and sat in a Porsche Taycan. Not because I needed it, but because I'd earned the right to sit in anything I wanted and know I could drive it home. I was adjusting the mirrors when a voice behind me said, "Wait, is that you?" Devin, Vivian's boyfriend, stood there holding a coffee from the dealership lounge, looking completely stunned. "What are you doing here?" he asked like I'd wandered into the wrong building. Looking at cars, he laughed nervously. "No offense, but this place starts at 6 figures. I didn't know you were doing like that." I didn't respond. He shifted on his feet like he was recalculating everything he thought he knew about me. The salesman walked over and told me my financing paperwork was approved whenever I was ready to finalize. Devin stopped laughing. "You're actually buying one of these?" I looked at him, deciding between this and the GT. He pulled out his phone and started texting someone. I already knew who. 10 minutes later, my phone buzzed 3 times in a row. Vivian first. Devin says, "You're at a Porsche dealership. Since when can you afford that law?" My mom second. "Honey, is that true? Call me please. We miss you." My dad third. "We should catch up, son. It's been way too long." 3 messages in 10 minutes after 4 years of silence. 4 years of thumbs up emojis and forgotten milestones and being treated like a background character in my own family. They weren't reaching out because they were proud. They were reaching out because they were stunned that the kid they ignored had quietly built something bigger than anything they ever handed Vivian. I looked at those messages for a long time, sitting in the driver's seat of that Porsche. Then I signed the paperwork, drove it home, and put my phone